Cyberpunk 2077 is doing the impossible, and it's curing my brain rot. This game has been one of the best single player experiences I've had in a long time, which is pretty shocking to say the least, because this was a game I completely wrote off after its disastrous launch. It had a flood of technical issues like tons of bugs and bad performance on every console, as well as PC. Plus, the game was hyped beyond belief, so that didn't do it any favors either. Disastrous launch aside though, I never stopped keeping an eye on Cyberpunk because I knew that over time, the game would get better with updates. And at its core, it definitely looked like a game that I'd eventually want to try, and eventually I did. About a year ago, I picked this bad boy up on the PS5, and I immediately dropped it. It was right then and there, I realized I just don't like playing on console anymore. But fast forward 1 year from there, and I bought it again, this time on PC, to give it one last shot. And man, am I glad I did. This game is providing a very immersive experience that's curing my brain rot. Now you might be asking yourself, what do you even mean by curing your brain rot? Great question, let me explain. It's no secret we live in the golden age of short form content, where at any given moment, you can get sucked into doom scrolling on a platform like TikTok or YouTube without even knowing it. And then an hour goes by, and you finally snap out of it, you have no idea where you are, and someone shit your pants. It's a very sad, but common thing, and the consumption of this kind of content has affected my attention span, especially for things that are supposed to be immersive experiences like single player games. And because of this, I've found it harder and harder to fully lock into many single player games. And this is not an issue I have with multiplayer games, mainly because I either play those with friends, or if I'm playing solo and it's a competitive game, I throw on some headphones, lock in, and clap some cheeks. But with a lot of single player games, everything just feels slow and I catch myself checking my phone, getting distracted, or needing background noise just to play the game. And it's not because the games suck. I've had this problem with many games that I think are incredible. I'll bring up Elden Ring as an easy example. It's easily one of the best games I've ever played in my life, hands down. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a YouTube video playing in the background more than half the time I was playing Elden Ring. And that's not really how I want to experience masterpieces like that. So for a while, I kinda started to hate the way I was playing single player games. But then came Cyberpunk 2077. This game has been like a digital cleanse. Anytime I play it, I don't even think about checking my phone. I'm just locked in, focused, and fully immersed. And the biggest reason for that is the game's setting. Night City, baby. CD Projekt Red really created a special world here. And even though the overall game is great, Night City is the absolute star of the show. The city feels alive, dense, gritty, and it's stunning to look at because there is a crazy level of detail pretty much everywhere you go. As an open world game, it is S tier in the technical and visual department, especially when you see a lot of open world games today fall into the trap of giving you a massive map with nothing in it, so that when you go and explore outside of any of the main areas, it just feels empty. In Cyberpunk though, it's the complete opposite. The city is really just packed with stuff to do, like side quests, hidden stories, interesting characters to meet, and a variety of locations to check out and explore. And through doing all those things, you'll get tons of lore about the world you're in, and that makes everything you do throughout this experience feel really connected. The map is genuinely a really impressive place to be in, and I'm constantly stopping to take in the views and look at the many intricacies of Night City. Fun fact, it took me about 4 times to say the word intricacies right, so there you go. Some free behind the scenes action for you right there. Moving on though, now I'm gonna stop glazing this game for a quick second to talk about my main problem with the game, and that's the gunplay. It's not terrible, but it feels a little off, more outdated than anything. Like the moment I fired my first bullet, I was like, oof, this could be better. And over time playing the game more and more, I got a little more used to it, but it still feels not the greatest. Even with the weapons that I like to use, I was never like, man, this gun feels great. That just didn't happen. I never said that, which is a bit of a shame, but that is really my only complaint about the gameplay. Oh, and one more thing, the functionality of some of the AI is pretty iffy sometimes, but most of the time it's good. But other than those two things, I pretty much enjoy every aspect of the game. Character progression feels pretty smooth overall, and gives you a lot to play around with. Things like attributes, perks, cyberware augmentations, and just the general skills are all funneling into creating a character that fits your playstyle. But the thing that's going to change up the gameplay the most are the cyberware augmentations. These upgrades do anything from making your character generally stronger with stat boosts, to giving you sword arms, to being able to slow down time. So that stuff is pretty nice to have. Outside of the cyberware upgrades though, many of the other progression systems boil down to stat boosts for your character and have some gameplay changes here and there. And this is just what I've experienced so far. From my understanding with the Phantom Liberty expansion, the overall progression system got a major overhaul, making character upgrades much more impactful to the gameplay itself, but we'll see when I get to that point. Moving on to the story, it's not god tier by any means, but it's very interesting and well written. In this game, I actually like talking through many of the dialogue options to find out more about certain characters, which is something I never do in other single player games, so that's saying something. And then of course, other than the main story, you got your side quests, and the side quests themselves in this game are pretty fleshed out and interesting in their own ways. Most are pretty unique encounters that continue providing lore about Night City and other characters in the game. And then just an added bonus to the game, it has that charming man Keanu Reeves, who's actually a pretty big part of the story, so I was glad to be seeing lots of him. And then they went and got Idris Elba for the expansion, who's another charming manly man who I look forward to learning more about. Now performance wise, the game runs basically perfect for me. Granted, I'm running it on a pretty solid PC, but it's clear that CD Projekt Red has put in the work since launch, because I saw how this game used to run and it was hot garbage. Now they've optimized it so well that they got the damn game running on the Switch too, so that's pretty impressive. Overall, I really can't stress how much I've been enjoying Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red really made this game into an amazing experience with all the work they've done to it over the years. And playing Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time in 2025 has brought me back to how I used to play games, where it's just me, the game, and nothing else, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. And it's not the only game in recent years that's been an amazing and immersive experience to play, but it just hits different than the other great single player games I've played. The atmosphere and the vibe of Cyberpunk has just completely hooked me in. Like when I play this game, I don't want to miss a single thing. I want to learn about everything and everyone, and I don't even care if some of the gameplay is mid, because the rest of the experience is phenomenal. So I'm very glad I gave it another shot. So for those out there struggling with the TikTok brain that I had, the cure is to chuck your phone to the side, find a great single player experience, and just go to town. But that's it for me though. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.